ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो हरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 838 त्रिषु धामसु यद्भोज्यं भोक्ता यश्च प्रकीर्तितः वेदैतदुभयं यस्तु स भुञ्जानो न लिप्यते. Bhashyakara says on the same page, Trishu dhamasu jagradadishu sthula praviviktan anandakhyam bhojyam ekam tridha bhutam yasya vishwataijasa prajñakhyah bhokta ekah saha ahamiti ekatvena pratisandhanat drashtutva avisheshacha prakirtitah यो वेद एतदुभयं भोज्य भोक्तृतया अनेकदा भिन्नं स भुञ्जानः न लिप्यते. भोज्यस्य सर्वस्य एकस्य भोक्तुः भोज्यत्वात् न हि यस्य यः विषयः सः तेन हीयते वर्धते वा न हि अग्निः स्वविषयं दग्ध्वा काष्ठादि तद्वत्. So Trishu Dhamasu, the fifth Kārikā, discusses in this first five Kārikās, we can say. In the first five Kārikās, first five mantras of the Upanishad are discussed. The gist of this Kārikā is the gist of the first five mantras. How many Kārikās? First five Kārikās are the gist of first five mantras. And now in this fifth Kārikā, he says, Trishu Dhamashu Jagradashidishu. In fact, fifth Kārikā is an essence of the all first five mantras, you can say even. So, Trishu Dhamashu Jagradadishu Sthula Praviviktan Anandakhyam Bhojyam Ekam Tridha Bhutam. Trishu Dhamasu, Trishu Avasthashu. So this Jagradadishu Avasthashu, well, in this Trishu Dhamasu Jagradadishu, Jagrad, Sapna, Sushupti, etc. Sthula Pravivikta Anandakhyam Bhojyam. Sthula Prapancha is experienced. Pravivikta, distinct from that, Sthula, that is Sukshma. And Anandakhyam, that is in a deep sleep state. Karanakhyam, you can say. Karanakhyam and Sthula Sukshma are Karyakhyam, Bhojyam, the entire object, entire world which is in the form of a Karana, Bhojyam, objects of experience. Actually, it is Ekam. Tridha Bhutam, one alone which appears this in threefold way. Sthula Sukshma Karana, Sthula Sukshma Anandakya, is nothing but one thing alone. Entire objects of experiences is one thing alone. Anyway, so Anandakhyam Bhojyam Tridabhutam, which is in threefold way. Which is threefold, you can say. So, and this is one. This is a Bhojya, objects of experience. Then corresponding there must be a Bhokta. Yeah, that's also threefold. Yascha Viśva Taijasa Prajñakhya Bhokta Ekah. Sa aham iti ekatvena pratisandhana. So Viśva Taijasa Prajñakhya. Vishwascha Taijasascha Prajñascha Viśva Taijasa Prajñaha. Viśva Taijasa Prajñaha Akhyaha. Right? Yasya Bhoktuhu Turiyasya. Saha Turiya Viśva Taijasa Prajñakhya. So this, the Atma which is in the fourth pada, which will be talked in the seventh mantra, that is actually, that alone is this threefold Viśva Taijasa Prajñakhya, which is named Akhya means which is named as Viśva Taijasa Prajña. So the experiencer also is one, which is in this threefold manner. Same way, the objects of experience also is ultimately one, which is threefold. So corresponding. So Viśva experience is Sthula Bhuk. Viśva is called Sthula Bhuk. Taijasa is Pravipta Bhuk, Sukshma Bhuk. And this Prajña is definitely Anandakya. He is experiencer of the Ananda, Karana, ignorance, etc. So this is, and that is, so ultimately one Turiya alone appears as subject and object. The waker, dreamer, etc. and deep sleeper who correspondingly experience the gross world, the subtle world, and this Karana, Prapancha. One alone appears as subject and object. Subject, object are me alone, Turiya. I am distinct from subject, object. I transcend subject, object. Subject, object do not transcend me. Means basically subject, objects totally are pervaded by me, immanent. So I pervade both of them, subject and object, and I at the same time transcend both of them. So I am neither a subject nor object. I am nirvikalpa. These vikalpas are not separate from me. Vikalpas are non-separate from me. I am distinct from both subject, object, vikalpa. Therefore, aham nirvikalpoha, etc. Nirvikalpo rupaha, etc. This has been said in Nirvana Shutka. So, Bhokta Ekaha ultimately. I am Bhokta. Non-changing Bhokta. So then you add Upadhi, Antakarana, then I become a changing Bhokta, Ahankara. As I experience the objects of the gross world, I am changing Bhokta. In form of a Viśva, I am a changing Bhokta. In form of a Sakshi, non-changing Bhokta. In form of a Viśva, well, I am a changing knower of the gross world. As a Sakshi, I am a non-changing knower. Nirvikara. This is how it is. So this changing knower is non-separate from the non-changing knower. Changing Bhokta, changing experiencer is non-separate from the non-changing experiencer. Sakshi is Ekaheva. So these are the Mithya. They are all Mithya. Viśva Taijasa Prajñakhya. You can take anyone like this. Ekaha Bhokta eva, which is non-changing. Sakshi is a Bhokta, experiencer. Because if Sakshi is not there, where is the question of Ahankara to experience even a gross world as a Viśva, or to experience a subtle world in form of a dreamer, or to experience a causal world, right, in form of Ananda, etc. Well, how they can, as a Prajña? No. Therefore, I alone, really speaking as a Sakshi, is a experiencer, a non-changing experiencer. And so, and Bhashakara says, well, Bhokta Ekaha Vishwadaijasa Prajña Yaha cha Vishwadaijasa Prajñakhyaha Bhokta Ekaha Saha Aham. I alone experience the waking world as a waker. I alone experience the dream world as a dreamer. I alone, so that's how you say I alone was a waker. I alone was a dreamer. The I alone was a deep sleeper. Now I alone is a waker, etc. So basically, saha aham iti ekatvena pratisandhanat. I am able to recollect, right? So I am able to recollect that I only dreamt as a dreamer, as experienced dream world. I alone slept, experienced ananda, etc. That same I is now awake. And therefore as a Viśva. And therefore Vishwadaijasa Prajñakhyaha Bhokta Ekaha. Saha Aham iti ekatvena pratisandhanat. This kind of recollection is very much there. And then Bhashakara says Drashtut, another reason. So Hetu is given in the Panchami. Drashtutva avishesha cha. Avishesha. Samanyat. Not particular. Common. Drashtutva. All the three have got one and the same common status. What is that status? Experiencer. Drashtutva means experience. Drashta here means experiencer. Drashtutva. A status of an experiencer. So that is common. I has got a status of an experiencer is common in either experience of a dream world, experience of a gross world, experience of a causal world, or ignorance, or experience of a ananda, whatever you say. That experiencer, that is common. So drashtutva avishesha, drashtutva samanyat. Avishesha is equal to samanya, which is common. And therefore, well, that I is a non-changing experience. Right? So, well, waker who is experiencing a waking world goes away. The dreamer who is experiencing dream world go away. Then the experiencer of a ananda, etc., or a causal world, ignorance, go away. So they go away. But I alone dreamt. I alone is awake. I alone slept, etc., etc. So I alone experience basically all the three states. So that I, which has a status of a basic experiencer, which does not undergo change, that is common in all the three states. So status being one, and since that is recollected by everyone as the same, so ekaha iti prakirtitaha. Prakirtita means this is shown. This was shown, that ekaha has been shown in this first half of the mantra. In the second half he says, in the first half of the Kārikā, I mean. So Trishu Dhamashu yad bhojyam bhokta yasya prakirtitaha. This is shown that bhokta is one, the bhogyam also is one. One Turiya alone appears as a bhokta and bhogyam, subject and object. Experiencer and experience, object of experience. And then he says, Yaha Veda. One who understands this truth, that one Turiya alone is with three costumes. He is playing three different roles. And, well, who knows, he is not affected, etc. Saha Bhunjanaha api na lipyate. So, the second half of the Kārikā. So, Yaha Veda etad ubhayam. So, the one who knows the truth behind this bhokta, ubhayam, both. So, one who knows the truth behind bhojyam and bhokta, object of experience and the experiencer, one who knows that truth, means one who knows the truth between Viśva and Sthula Prapancha, one who knows the truth between Taijasa and the Sukshma Prapancha, dream world, one who knows the truth behind the Prajña and the causal world, or a ananda or a ignorance, one who knows that one alone appears as this ubhayam in either So Viśva Taijasa Prajña as a Bhokta or Sthula Sukshma Karana as a object of experience. One who knows, Yah Veda, Vijanati. Veda does not mean that our Veda, Rigveda, etc. Here Veda is a verb, Vid Dhatu, and it has a distinct forms. You can make Vijanati, etc. also is there, or Veda, etc. also is there. Or there are alternatives. So Yaha Etad Ubhayam Veda, one who knows the truth behind this Ubhayam, Bhokta and Bhogyam, Bhojyam, etc. Yaha Veda Etad Ubhayam Saha, that person, that Jnani, well, Saha Bhunjanaha api, while he is experiencing in a given state as a Viśva, Taijasa or Prajña, well, especially in a Viśva, there is no, Swamiji is not affected in a deep sleep state, etc. We need not say. As a waker, definitely. Saha Bhunjanaha, while he is experiencing the objects of experience, entire host of experiences, objects of experiences, that person, one who knows that I am only in this twofold, Bhokta and Bhojyam, Saha na lipyate, he is not affected. Why? By the objects of experiences, even though as an experiencer he experiences this. So that's what he says. And that Bhashyakara explains this, Yaha Veda Etad Ubhayam, by saying, Bhojyam Bhoktrutaya Anekada Bhinnam. If you see that in a third line of the Bhashyam, Yaha Veda Etad Ubhayam. Ubhayam means what? Bhojya Bhoktrutaya Anekada Bhinnam, which is very well in the form of a Bhojyam and in the form of a Bhokta, which has been divided in these two. Anekada, manifold way. So, Anekada Bhokta also Anekada, Viśva Taijasa Prajña. Bhojyam also Anekada, manifold. How? Well, Sthula Sukshma Karana, a Sthula Sukshma Ananda, you can say. So, behind that, Bhokta and Bhojyam, there is only one, that is me. Yaha Veda, one who knows this, Saha Bhunjana api, even though he experiences the Prārabdha, definitely. It's all Prārabdha. Either a suspension of a Prārabdha, that is a deep sleep state, either experiencing Prārabdha in a dream, or experiencing Prārabdha in a waking. Either that. So definitely, so from a Vyavarika angle, he is an experiencer as a Viśva or a Taijasa, and in a deep sleep state experiences the Ananda. Well, such a person, na lipyate, well, he is not getting affected, he will not be affected. So he will not be affected by Punya Papa also, Prārabdha means, definitely. And the reason is what? Bhashyakara gives a reason. Sarvasya Bhojyasya Sarvasya Ekasya Bhoktuhu Bhojyatvat. This is too typical. Bhojyasya you can put in bracket. Actually not needed. It is what? Ekasya Bhoktuhu Sarvasya Bhojyatvat. Ekasya Bhoktuhu. Why is not affected by this Prārabdha, Punya Papa, etc.? Because Ekasya Bhoktuhu, for this one Bhokta, the Turiya, the Sakshi, for this one Bhokta, Sarvasya Bhojyatvat, for this one Sakshi Chaitanyam, well, everything is a object of experience. So even though looks like this Sakshi Chaitanya, looks like it is divided into many bhoktas through many bodies, etc. Well, it's not true. Basically, all the bodies, right, Sula, Sukshma, etc., or even a Karana, all are objects of experience for this one bhokta alone. So, Ekasya Bhoktuhu Sarvasya Bhojyatvat. For this one bhokta, which is Sakshi, all this is object of experience, and therefore experiencer, in fact, to be in a better side, for this Sakshi Chaitanya, who illumines the entire objects of world, that Sakshi Chaitanya, who is an illuminator, will not be affected by what is illumined. That's it. That's better way of saying. And if you see that Viśva is definitely affected by the Sthula Prapancha. Viśva is affected. Because Viśva means it's a mind actually. So it's a mind that is affected by whatever enters into the mind from this gross world is affected. But the Sakshi, the non-changing Bhukta, is not affected. That's what it says. So Taijasa is affected definitely by that dream world. Certain objects are there, the dreamer is affected naturally. So, but really speaking, this Sakshi, which is the basic experiencer, which is non-changing experience, which is there when the Viśva is there, it is there. When the dreamer is there, it is there. When the Prajña is there, it is there. That I, which is non-changing experiencer, which illumines the entire objects of experience, including ahankaras, including bhoktas, these three bhoktas also, which is in the form of these three bhoktas and the threefold bhojyam, is not affected. So, so any illuminator is never tainted by positively influenced or negatively influenced by whatever it illumines, it is not affected. That's what Bhashyakara gives a reason now. So, nahi yasya yaha vishayah saha tena hiyate vardhate va. So, and before we go into that, we can see that example in the Kathopanishad. For this, the illuminator is never affected by what it illumines. For that, Yamadharmaraja gives three examples as such. Vayu example is not for illumination, but Vayu example also he gives. But the other two, the sun and fire, he gives that example. Suryo yatha sarva lokasya chakshuhu na lipyate chakshushair bahya doshaihi ekastatha sarva bhutantaratma na lipyate loka dukkhena bahya. Then instead of Suryo yatha, he says Agnir yatha. Like that he gives example. And then Vayur yatha, etc. So, so it says here that the Suryo yatha sarva lokasya chakshuhu. And for the entire, all this entire world, Suryaha chakshuhu. Chakshu means it illumines. The sun is basically eye of the entire, the eye, in fact this eye, we can take for sense organs also. What is said, whatever the sense organ illumines, whatever the particular sense objects, so the attributes of the sense objects, good, bad, cannot affect the illuminator, that is sense organ. Sense organs, which is a illuminator of a given sense objects, particular type of sense objects, will not be affected by the attributes, good or bad, of the objects. He will not be affected. That's what it says, nalipyate. And you can take the sun also as an example. Sun illumines the entire world. And when it illumines the entire world, it really pervades, right, the object. So then, if it pervades the object, then the attributes of object should definitely affect the sunlight. No, it doesn't. And therefore, they always give an example of the sunlight pervades that, the drainage water, as well as the sunlight pervades the Ganges water. And Ganges water is really pure, etc. And, and this dirty water, drainage water. One sun in form of a sunlight pervades both. And the attributes of both are really different. The attributes of the drainage water and attributes of the Ganges water, quite different. But if the sunlight which pervades both of them, illumines them, both of them, that sun, the illuminator, is not affected by the attributes of what is illuminated. Same way here, this Sakshi. And so here it says, yasya yaha vishayah, whatever is the object of an illuminator, whatever is the object of an illuminator. We can take Surya Prakasha, or you can take even an eye, or you can take even a ear also. That also is illuminator. This also is a illuminator. Even your tongue also is a illuminator of taste, etc. Or the nostrils also are a illuminator. The skin is illuminator. Of varieties. The illuminator is one. The objects which are illumined are infinite. My God. Including cold and hot and everything is illumined. Today temperature is low. If you go out, you will immediately feel, right? So my point is, cold and hot and soft. In soft also several, my God, so much. Like a velvet. So, through this illuminator skin, this sense organ, that particular form of touch is illumined. You will be able to know is it a softness of a petal, or is it a softness petal of a flower, or is it a softness of a velvet? You are able to say, or is it softness of some other surface? And hard also you are able to find out what type of hardness it is. My God. So objects of illuminations are plenty. The illuminator is one. And all these objects of illumination have varieties of the attributes, good, bad, etc. But the illuminator which illumines this host of objects which is illumined by this illuminator, is not affected at all. That's what the principle is. So yasya yaha vishaya, whatever is object of any illuminator, well, saha tena na hiyate vardate va. So the illuminator is never increased or decreased by what it illumines. Increase, decrease means it is not here in, if it is a defective, like let's take here now the another example. Your eyes illumine a defective piece which you have bought, and now you understand, oh, it is a defective. Definitely it's an object of illumination through your eyes. But the object is defective. That defect of the object does not make eyes defective. Or some object which you have seen which is effective. More than you expected, you found it very effective. It's an attribute of the object. Very effective, not defective, but effective. Then that effective attribute of the object will not enhance the eyes. May not make the eyes very effective. Whatever it is, it is. And therefore the illuminator, that's what he says here. Whatever is an object of an illuminator, that object, well, definitely, that illuminator is never affected in terms of increase or decrease, become defective or effective, etc., by what it illumines. Tena. So yasya yaha vishaya. So yasya yaha vishaya. Yaha vishaya. Vishaya means the object of illumination. Yasya, for the one, means for the illuminator. Saha, that object. Tena hiyate na vardhate va. So basically saha illuminator, I'm sorry. Saha, that illuminator, tena means then tena vishayena hiyate vardhate va na. So it will not, saha, that object will not increase or decrease, will not be affected, in short, by the quality, quantity, etc. Quality of the object, that would be same. So that's how it is. Therefore here also it is the same thing. Basically the Chaitanya consciousness illumines everything. All bhoktas, all threefold bhokta and threefold bhojya. I illumine. Without me, where is bhokta? Either a Viśva or either a gross world. Where is that? And without consciousness, the witness consciousness, where is this dreamer and where is the dream world? Without the consciousness, Sakshi, witness consciousness, where is Prajña and where is this ignorance, or where is this Ananda? So basically Bhokta and Bhojyam, threefold is totally illumined by me, the Sakshi Chaitanya, and that Sakshi Chaitanya is not affected by these objects of experience. Even Ahankara also is object. Ahankara is object. It is also illumined by me, that way. and the gross world, etc. also. That's a bhojya. Bhashyakara gives an example which is a little difficult to understand. He says, Nahi agnihi svavishayam dadva kashtadivat. So, Nahi agnihi, the fire, and well, we have to supply. Na hiyate vardhate, what is there already. So, that fire, na hiyate, na vardhate va. That fire does not decrease or does not increase dagdva by burning kashtadi. So by burning the wood, which is fuel, well, the agni does not increase or decrease. Looks like it is not true. I mean, it's not that way. But if a kashtha, you add more fuel into the fire literally becomes a huge conflagration. And if a fuel, the kashtha, the wood, is a small piece, you will see the fire is very small. If a big wood, well, it increases. Even if the forest, well, it will be much fold. So we'll have to take it little differently. Here, Swamiji takes it little differently, and that is, he says, let's take a fire means let's take a candle light. And a candle light burns 5 papers, right? Object. So if it burns 5 papers, well, so candlelight, the flame of the candlelight will remain the same. Now instead of 5 papers, it burns, this flame of a candlelight burns 30 papers, which are very, papers, most of the people do that. Certain things are very, certain secret papers which do not go into others' hand, so you just burn them. Now you burn 30 papers. The flame of the candlelight remains the same. That way we can take it. Otherwise, directly kashtadi dadva, well, burning wood, the fire increases, does not increase or decrease. It doesn't look like that way. So anyway, same means here, I illumine all entire world, which is in the form of subject-object, which is in the form of 3 states, basically. So in particular state, there is a subject-object, Viśva and Sthula and Taijasa, Prajña, Taijasa and Sukshma, etc. So I basically pervade all the 3 states, and that's how that I, which is your experience by Pratyabhijna, you are able to recollect that you were as a waker and experiencing waking world, etc. You were a dreamer and experiencing dream world. You were a deep sleeper and experiencing. So that I, which is Pratisandhanam, which is by Pratyabhijna, etc., which is just experiencer, not experiencer of the gross world. No, that has gone. But I, the experiencer, continues in all the 3 states, non-changing experiencer. That is Sakshi Chaitanya, witness consciousness. That is not affected by the ahankara, the bhokta in a given state, or a bhojya of a given state. So that one who knows this, well, will not be. That I am a Turiya, not knower of Turiya. Knower of Turiya, no. If you want to say knower of Turiya means a non-changing knower, well, that's fine. Then I am witness consciousness. But generally we should know the knower of Turiya, the knower of Atma is the Atma. Not the knower of Atma is, yeah, it's not ahankara, we know for sure. Let's go to Kārikā number 6 now. Prabhavas sarva bhavanam satamiti vinishchayah sarvam janayati pranah chetom shum purushah prathak. Now, in the, Kārikākara wants to give a gist of the 6th mantra as such, and in which we know very well that the 6th mantra, which is equating Prajña Īśvara. 5th mantra talks about Prajña, but that is equated with the Īśvara in the 6th mantra by Eshaha. Eshaha means this. This means what was talked in a 5th mantra, that Prajña is Īśvara. Eshaha Sarveshwaraha, Eshaha Sarvajnaha, Eshontarayami, Eshaha Yonihi Sarvasya Prabhavapyauhi Bhutanam. So that Prajña is this Īśvara alone, and that we know experientially. Please understand, Prajña becomes Īśvara means Prajña experientially is one with the Īśvara, because he has given up the identification. Because Maya's avarana is there, and Vikshepa is only has gone. So Vikshepa means an identifying with a given body mind sense complex. So identifying with a given body mind sense complex, why? Because Vyashti Karana Sharira, that is there. That is how you have got a special body, special Sukshma Sharira, special Karana, special gross body through a Karana. That's a bank. That's your karma bank, Sanchit Karma, and all vasanas. That's a Vyashti Karana. Because of that, well, you are identified with this body and this Sukshma Sharira. But avarana vikshepa of Maya ultimately. Due to avarana of the Maya, you don't know you are Brahman. And vikshepa means definitely you have identification. That's called vikshepa, a sense of individuality. But that sense of individuality with the given body mind sense complex, that is due to Vyashti Karana Sharira. But that since the vikshepa, that sense of individuality goes away because you don't identify with this given body mind sense complex, there only avarana remains. And therefore, experientially you now don't say I am an individual and Īśvara is different, Samashti is different from me. I am Vyashti, Samashti. That division has merged. Experientially it is not there. Therefore you are one with the Īśvara. So in deep sleep state, definitely you don't find yourself. The sense of individuality is there, then you will have a awareness of time and space also. Time and place also. Right now, you are waker, you have a sense of individuality, and then sense of individuality goes along with the sense of place and sense of time, both. That is not there. And therefore you are one with the Īśvara. Anyway, and that Īśvara is a sarvasya yonihi. It's a cause. It's upadana karana for everything. The entire universe is a karyam, and Īśvara is a karana. So basically, in a sixth mantra we can say, where Īśvara has been said, which is equated with the Prajña, and there it has been said that prabhavapya hi bhutanam, that Īśvara, which is a third pada of the Atma, is the cause, prabhavaha, cause for the creation, and apyayaha, the laya, well, definitely for the dissolution. So that it looks like that third pada of the Atma, which has been talked in a sixth mantra, has been narrated as a cause of the world. Īśvara is a cause of the Srishti. So that Srishti Prakaranam is introduced as though. And when Srishti Prakaranam is introduced, then we have other than the Vedantins also will have a certain view about this Srishti. Right? And so all other people, in fact, that detailed discussion of that will come in the third chapter of this Mandukya. We are in the first chapter now. But all other philosophers, all other schools of thought, you can say, well, I am talking about Astika Darshanas also in India. So all our Bharatiya Darshan actually. So all of them talk about the creation of the universe. And they all study how the creation comes. And in that, main two are there. In Astika Darshanam, these four, other than us and our, our brothers, Mimamsakas. So, well, we are twin brothers, you can say. Mimamsakas, Purvamimamsaka and Uttarmimamsaka Vedantin. They are twin brothers. Keep them aside right now. And, we have to say something regarding this creation of the universe, that we'll keep it. Mimamsaka says something, we will keep it aside right now. And but other than that, Astika Darshanam, there are four more. And this Nyayikas and Vaisheshikas, they are twin brothers. They will say one thing about how the creation has come. What is a cause? What's the relationship of a cause and effect, etc. And on the other side, Sankhya and Yoga are twin brothers. They will talk about this creation. What is a cause, etc. Now, these two groups, right? Nyayikas and Vaisheshikas, Sankhya and Yoga. This Nyayika and Vaisheshika say their vada, their theory of creation is called asatkaryavada. Asatkaryavada means what? The karya, the effect, the creation was not in a karana, the cause. Means the creation, the karya is it has begun. It's a new creation. So basically the cause and effect are distinct entities. There is no connection. It's a distinct entity. Cause is cause. Effect is effect. You should not say, well, effect is non-separate from cause and all. No. Cause and effect are into realities. That's how they say. So asat, karya, the effect, is not there in the cause. It is independent thing. It is a new thing created. That's how it is called arambhavadaha. Arambha. The creation has, a new creation has emerged. It has begun. New creation has begun. Like simple. Nayayikas talk about the basic element of the creation is the atoms, Paramāṇu. And those atoms basically are there. Of a four bhutas, of four elements. The four elements, which is the basic element of, which are the basic constituent of this creation, are four. And that is, there are Vayu, Agni, Jalam and Prithvi. And this creation in which you find these all elements right now, an elemental world, of course, born of elements. These elements are born. Karyam is born from Paramanus. So Paramanus are four. Atoms of four. Vayu, Agni, Jalam, Prithvi. Yeah. They were in the form of atoms. And floating. Floating where? In Akasha. So Akasha is not created, no. They say Akasha is Ekaha, Nityaha. Akasha was there even in when the creation was not there. Akasha cannot be destroyed. It is there. And all these four types of atoms, of four elements, they were floating. And from there, elements started joining. Atoms started joining. So one atom of a Vayu joins with another atom of a Vayu and becomes, say, dyad, D-I-A-D. They call Dvanuk. Anu joins, becomes Dvanuk, dyad. Then three dyads join together, become one triad. Then triads join together, become further. And after triads join, that it becomes visible to you. They give an example also that like with a naked eye, right now in a room, there are many, particles are floating, dust particles or whatever, they are floating. Maybe a small tiny fiber also is floating. You will not be able to see that. But suppose a sunlight enters from your window in the morning, and in that beam of sunlight, you find the particles, right? So this is nothing but the triads join together, and now they start become visible to you, and then they further join, becomes a gross element. So from the atoms of the Vayu, you get the gross air, etc. Vayu is this process. The gross air was present there. No, it's a new thing created. The cause is, of course, element. The atoms of the Vayu, but it is just an atom. But basically, what you are seeing creation right now, creation of a Vayu, is entirely different from that. So the atom Vayu and the gross Vayu are entirely different things. It has a different property, this has a different property. Therefore, cause and effect are independent entities, they have no connection. This effect has begun from the cause. But who joins the Vayu? One Vayu atom knows that there is another Vayu atom, let me join. No, that's the job of Īśvara. Therefore, Īśvara is a nimitta karana. He is a nimitta karana. He joins them. It's called tatastha also. They call tatastha. Īśvara does not participate in the creation. He has nothing to do with these atoms. Atoms are, basically they become these elements and etc. and then elemental creation and everything. Īśvara is simply a nimitta karana. He knows everything in efficient cause and he joins them like that. That's what they say. So this is a asatkaryavada of a Nyayika Vaisheshikas. And there is a satkaryavada also, which says the effect, sat, karyam means effect, is sat. Effect is present in, exist in cause. Effect is present in cause, then what is the difference between cause and effect? Well, cause undergoes modification to become effect. Like the milk undergoes modification to become curd. Even they take the example, amazing. They take the example of a gold, etc. They say gold bar or gold biscuit undergoes modification to become a ring or a chain, etc. So parinamavada, parinama, changing, etc. So that is how asatkaryavada is called arambhavada, where cause and effect are distinct entities, distinct in reality. Whereas here cause and effect are basically not totally independent reality. The cause itself undergoes transformation into effect. That's called satkaryavada of a Sankhya and Yoga. And there Īśvara has no role to play. We call Purusha has no role to play for so far as Satkaryavada is concerned. Yoga people also accepts Īśvara. They define. In a Yoga Sutra, they define Jiva and Īśvara both. But Īśvara has a certain distinct attributes, were all beautiful attributes. Jiva has all this avidya, klesha, etc., pancha klesha, etc. Īśvara is free from the pancha klesha, avidya, asmita, ragadvesha, etc. That way they define. Īśvara as a cause, no. Īśvara has nothing to do with the creation. Then you are saying cause undergoes modification, Īśvara does not? No. Purusha is asanga. So basically they don't accept Īśvara at all, which is a cause of the world. Keep it aside. Then what is the meaning of Purusha then? Atma. Atmas are many. Every Atma is asanga, unconnected to the creation, unconnected to this world, totally unaffected also. And these Atmas are many and it is limitless. Every Atma is limitless and many. Anyway, and asanga. And basically bhokta, asanga and bhokta. That's the bhokta, experiencer. Every Atma is experiencer. And then what it experiences? Atma experiences various objects. Bhogya Vishaya. Who has given this Bhogya Vishaya? Prakriti has given. Prakriti is a cause. Prakriti undergoes modification. Prakriti is the cause of this world. That undergoes modification. That's how Mula Prakriti. From there is from a Mula Prakriti they say something, and then Ahankara, and then elements, and these and that, and Indriyas. So Prakriti is a cause which undergoes modification ultimately in the form of this entire world, and those various objects of the world becomes objects of experience for that Purusha who is unconnected by this world, who is simply experiencer, experiences various objects presented by Prakriti. Prakriti undergoes modification in form of various ultimately results into various objects of experience, and that is being experienced by the Bhokta Atma, Purusha. So Purusha and Prakriti are different. Purusha is a Sangaha. Prakriti is a cause of the world. Prakriti undergoes modification, Parinama. So this is called Parinamavada. So Sankhya Yogas, for these twin brothers, there is a Satkaryavada or Parinamavada. Karya was present in cause. How? The cause itself undergoes modification to become effect. So therefore, that way, effect is present in the cause. That's what they say. And for Asatkaryavadi, for Nyayika and Vaisheshika, it is Arambhavada. Well, effect is effect. It is a new thing which has begun. And from the cause. Cause is entirely different thing with its separate attributes. Effect is entirely different with a separate attributes. Cause and effect are two independent entities. So, well, definitely, this is how they say. So, this is these are the two main vadas in a Astika school. And we say, well, this Satkaryavada we accept temporarily. Yeah, that's true. Cause undergoes modification. Then we say you just see into that. Really, what undergoes modification is simply a form which is non-separate from the substance. So far as substance is concerned, it has not undergone any change. Substantial difference is not there between cause and effect. Only apparent difference is there. A form is an apparent thing of a substance. Form is an appearance of the substance. So far as, well, and in that, well, we can even give example of a milk and curd also ultimately. But let's not go into that. But other examples, where they even give a example, like they said, gold biscuit has undergone into modification and to become a chain or a ring or something, or a bangle. We say, look at that. The substance has not undergone change. The form which is non-separate from the substance has undergone a change. And therefore, Satkaryavada, instead we would say, well, it would be Mithya-karyavada. Just form undergoes change, which is Mithya. Substance remains the same. So far as between cause and effect, between cause and effect, there is no change at all, really speaking. Cause alone was in a one state, now appears in a different state. In a one form, appears in a different form. Anyway, they say, well, no, cause undergoes modification, Satkaryavadi. So cause undergoes modification. No, that's not true. It's a Mithya-karyavada, is of a Vedanti. Anyway, and so far as Mimamsakas are concerned, well, they don't believe in Īśvara as a cause of the world. They say karma alone is the cause. And karma, which karma is the cause? Well, the karmas which have been described in the Veda, one who performs that, well, will generate punyam, papam, etc., etc. And from the karmas also, ultimately, the creation has come. And from the karmas alone, well, we get the body, etc., depending upon your punya papa, and then you undergo various experiences. Īśvara has no role to play. There is no Īśvara which is a cause of the world. That is our twin brother, Mimamsa says. They bring karma as a cause. And but ultimately, so the samashti also has been formed from the karma, karma. And this vyashti, sharira, etc. also from karma. Vyashti karma, samashti karma. Of the jiva. That alone gives this creation, nothing else. And those karmas are so powerful. Where are they described? That's a Veda. So entire karma kanda gives you so many karmas. Well, performing that, you get a different world, and ultimately this world is being formed from the jivas, jiva who are anadis, From their samashti karma only the whole creation has come. There is no Īśvara at all. Mimamsakas also don't believe. In that all this there are exceptions. There are Seshwar Sankhyas also, there are Mimamsakas who say Īśvara is a cause. But there are Apavada, exception. Major is this. We say, well, this basically Īśvara alone is a cause. Which Īśvara? Mithya Īśvara. With a Maya Upadhi. Well, it becomes cause. That we will discuss. It will come. But here in the sixth Kārikā, he negates asat karyavada. He talks about the third pada of the Atma, which is Īśvara, equated with the Prajña, and he introduced that here, and he says, satam sarvabhavanam satam eva prabhavaha. Satam. So for the existent thing alone, existent thing alone emerges. Means existent in a cause, in an unmanifest form, etc. alone emerges and becomes manifest. And thereby using word satam, he has negated asat karyavada. So if this, whatever the creation, sarva bhavana, so bhavanti iti bhavaha, all these beings which you are seeing, all these forms, etc., which you are seeing, satam, they were existent where? In the cause. By that asat karyavada, where they say the cause and effect are entirely different, of a different order of reality, they both are distinct entity. It's a new beginning of the creation, etc. It's a beginning of creation, etc. It's a new thing. No. So by using word satam, he has negated asat karyavada, and also by a second line of that, he has negated sat karyavada also. That we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vaisheshika. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.